Hello, gorgeous souls. Welcome to this video on the Gemini New Moon. We are also taking a look at the recent shift of Saturn into Aries, which is bringing closure to a nearly 30-year cycle, activating a new timeline. We're also going to take a look at Jupiter today, which is in new territory in Gemini and soon getting ready to shift into Cancer. So we're going to take a look at all of this energy. A warm welcome. Say hi below as you jump on and let me know your top three in astrology. Let me know your sun, your moon, your rising sign so I can get to know you a little bit better. And if you've been on this journey with me for a while, you know, I always love to hear from you and how you are experiencing these energies. I know so much is shifting for all of us right now. We are collectively in a time of incredible ascension where time is actually speeding up. Our perception of time is speeding up, I should say. I talked about that in our last video as well, where we're changing the way we perceive time, experiencing more deja vu moments, and really coming to a deeper appreciation that we have the power to create our experience and we can choose the timeline we walk out on this planet. So I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to dive deeper into some of the main energies surrounding this Gemini new moon. So we have the sun conjunct the moon at 6 degrees of Gemini. We also have Mercury, the ruler of this new moon, pretty close by. So Gemini is represented by the twins and it represents duality and embracing these different aspects of who we are, embracing the shadow and the light. And Gemini, in the highest expression, reminds us of the power of keeping an open mind. There's such a youthful quality with Geminis, very playful, very youthful, and an understanding that we can stay open to seeing things through alternative points of view. And when we change the lens in which we're viewing the world through, we change the experiences we create. And this is why we all live on the same planet. You know, we're all living on this planet, but yet our experience here is greatly different. And even the experience you've likely had throughout your life journey varies. And Gemini is such a powerful reminder that our beliefs are not written in stone. Often we think that how we do see the world is just like the way things are, but that isn't the case. Someone else could come in and see something very differently. It's all about the meaning that we attribute to what is unfolding in our world. So at any point in time, any situation you are navigating, you can always ask yourself, what is the meaning that I'm attributing to the situation? Because the meaning will ultimately determine the experience you have. So this Gemini moon is about challenging that. If you have programs, if you have beliefs that really aren't serving you, you get to update them. We have the ability to rewire our brain to see things in a new light. And I always like to ask, is this belief serving me? I'll often ask this in my business. Is this belief serving me when it comes to the money that I can make, the people that I can serve, how I'm called to lead? Are these beliefs ultimately useful? Are they bringing me closer to the goals that I have, or are they bringing me further away? And if they're bringing you further away, if they're bringing me further away, I always ask, what is a more useful way to see this? Can I see this through the lens of my higher self and transcend the programming that keeps me stuck in unwanted loops? And this really is an opportunity here to transcend the things in our life, the beliefs in our life that maybe one time they did serve us, or maybe there was a time in our life where we didn't know we can choose again. Each new moment is a new choice point. And we have the opportunity to say, what path do I want to walk? What story do I want to tell about my life? This is key with the Gemini archetype. Gemini knows the stories we tell about ourselves, about the world, create our experience within it. Communication can be very powerful at this time where Mercury is in its home sign of Gemini. So really, you know, knowing that our words hold power. our ability to communicate with other people and ideally move toward creating more harmony and a shared understanding. Because there's something with Gemini and the duality and the twins of knowing and understanding that we can hold alternative viewpoints to other people, and it doesn't mean it has to end in conflict. In fact, what if it could actually be an expansive experience for both of us when we learn to see and entertain things from a different viewpoint, a different side of things. Now, in the lower octave expression of Gemini, this is where we can have like all these ideas. Our mind can feel very active. And it produces this sense of feeling scattered. It's like I often work with my clients on this. They'll, come in and say, I've got all these ideas around programs that I can launch, things I can share with the world. And like, I don't know where to start. And I love helping them sort through that and really feel into the Akashic records and get a sense of the idea that feels most alive, the idea that they're meant to walk out first based on their goals and what they're manifesting. And this is really key with all this Gemini energy. We still have Jupiter here as well. So the sun, the moon, Mercury, Jupiter, all in Gemini. There's likely an abundance of ideas you are experiencing right now. And we need to know how to focus within that so we can actually take an idea and see it to fruition. And we don't have like all these things going at once and we just feel like I'm going in circles, or it's this energy of busy work without actually getting things accomplished. So just something to be aware of. With this energy, we want to bring focus to it, and we want to also feel the abundance of all the ideas instead of the overwhelm. I always tell my clients, like, we don't want to turn something that's meant to be abundant into something that feels like scarcity. Having an incredible, having all these incredible ideas can be a really good thing if we couple that with focus. So there's also some beautiful aspects being made here that bring in this recent shift of Saturn into Aries. So we have the moon and the sun and even Mercury forming a sextile with both Saturn and Neptune. So the last time Saturn was in the sign of Aries, it's now at 0 degrees of Aries. This is the very beginning point in the zodiac. So on May 24th, we have this move of Saturn from the very final degrees of Pisces, the 29-degree mark, the most karmic point in astrology. You're likely feeling that in the beginning of May, like maybe things coming to peak in your life, like things you really have to look at. You can't avoid feeling this emotion anymore. You have to make a decision, or even just like old soul agreements and contracts are falling away. And it's now moved to the very beginning degree of the zodiac. So grab your birth chart, locate where Aries is. This is the sign of Aries. Find where the very starting point of Aries is and the number that corresponds with it, which is the house placement. This is the area of your life where a new chapter is opening up. This is an area of your life where you are called to trailblaze, where you are called to lead, where there is a new beginning that's happening. And for the collective, we're feeling this too. It's like, okay, we're calibrating to a new timeline. And in that process, it can feel a little chaotic, feel like a lot of energy is moving. Couple with the Gemini energy, we could feel like, what direction am I meant to go? I have all these decisions. What one do I take? And I think the key here is really trusting our intuition and, not hesitating too long. There's something with this Aries energy here, and we currently have Venus here as well. Aries really teaches us the power in not overthinking and actually just going with it. Because as we make a decision, momentum builds and clarity happens. It's like if we're standing in the fog and we just stand still, what happens? The fog gets thicker. If we're standing in the fog and we decide just to take one step, the fog begins to lift and we just need to take one step at a time. This is a message from the records as well. I've shared this before, but it's dropping in now too. The more that we sit in our life in a space of indecision, the more confusion grows and the more likely we are to make decisions from fear and from past programming, which instead of moving us forward and supporting our evolution, keeps us where we are, because our mind only knows the past, but our intuition and our heart knows the way forward. And Saturn in Aries here. So the last time it was here was 96, 99. So you may even want to look back. Okay, what was happening between that time frame of 1996, 1999? What was I moving through in my life? What themes were present? Doesn't mean those things are repeating because we're always spiraling upward, and the other location of the planets right now and the aspects being made are different. We never want a direct repeat, but there can be certain themes. I had a client share that last time it was in this placement, she was holding back speaking her truth around her gifts and her intuition and her ability to read energy. And she was feeling fear around that. And now this time, she's like, some of those fears are coming up, but I'm not letting it hold me back. I'm moving forward. So that's like the type of evolution we want. We may have some of those old fears come back up, but the question is, do we allow those fears to take us over, or do we now make a new decision? So that was the last time we experienced this transit. For some of you, depending on your age, this could be a whole new energy that you're stepping into. It's like a whole new frequency for you. If you've never experienced this before, this really is like, okay, new timeline. What am I creating? What am I writing in this next chapter of my story? Big themes of stories right now, coupled with a Gemini energy. What story do you want to tell for your life? What story would you be happy to look back on when you're 80 years old, looking back on your life, or 90 or 100 or however old, when you're looking back and you're reflecting? What is the story you would want to read? For all of us, I know it's going for what we really want, not letting fear talk us out of taking the trip we want to take, making the investment in ourselves we want to make, sharing our work, sharing our message, living a life that feels truly authentic to us. And that's a decision we make moment to moment, regardless of what happened in your past. This is new energy. And Saturn here. So let's take a look at Saturn. I equate Saturn with the archetype of the wise woman. The wise woman who is not in a rush, not into fleeting, meaningless success, not into just checking things off of our to-do list, not interested at all in meeting societal's definition of success. The wise woman is about building a meaningful legacy. That's what Saturn really represents. It's not a rush. It's about having the discipline and devotion to the life we want to create, to our larger vision, to not allow what happens in any given moment to determine what we know is possible for us. I'll often work with my clients on this if they're in the middle of launching an offer or program, and we all tend to go through this at some stage. They'll feel like the doubt coming up of is it going to work? Am I going to get the signups I want? Or no one's responding, no one signed up today. And it's who we are in those moments when doubt and fear want to take over. And we're like, no, I'm holding the vision. I'm remembering who I am. I'm showing up for what I believe in. That's that Saturn energy. So when we couple that with the archetype of Aries, very passionate, very fiery about, going forward, we're not hesitating, we're leading, we're trailblazing. This definitely brings a very powerful momentum. But it's not about impulsivity. It's about intentional action. It's about focused action. It's about having a plan and moving. So I actually like these energies together because Aries can kind of speed up Saturn and Saturn kind of slows down Aries. So in the middle, we have this balance of we're moving forward, we're trailblazing, we're taking action. Saturn can even speak to your work, your career, your business, taking that to new heights, taking that to new levels, looking at who you're called to be in order to do that. That's going to be a change to our self-image. We can't outperform our belief system or how we see our identity, but we can upgrade it. So it's a match to what we know our destiny is, the goals we have, what we desire. We can upgrade that identity. This connection between Saturn and Neptune is also so powerful because Neptune is this energy of transcendence. It's who we are beyond the physical. And then Saturn's like, but remember, you're also here in the physical. And it's beautiful when we remember that we're connected to source. We're connected to our higher self and spirit team. And yet we're here in these physical bodies. And when we have that knowingness, we really tap into our superpower and our ability to create. to take our dreams from just being a dream into a manifested reality. So that energy is very powerful here and at such a pivotal point, the very beginning degrees of the zodiac. And again, this energy is in sextile with the moon, with this new moon in Gemini. What new story will you tell for your life? Who are you as you move forward? And let this move you more into your most authentic self than ever before. I can hear some of you maybe saying too, I don't know who I am. But we're always evolving and growing. And the thing is, right? We like clearly knew like this is who I am. We're probably defining it from the past instead of who we are becoming. Let that be an evolution. Gemini, be open and curious about who the women you're becoming, who are they? How do they show up? How do they dress? How do they speak? How do they live? How do they make decisions? It's like all of that gets to be written right now as you move forward. Jupiter's in a new energy here as well. So June the 9th, it's finally going to leave Gemini and it's going to move into Cancer where it's exalted. Intuition is going to just be at an all-time high. We're going to feel things flowing with greater ease. Well, it's at this final degrees of Gemini though. And coupled especially with this new moon energy, it's where we really have a chance to do that work in upgrading our communication, how we communicate with ourselves, how we communicate with others. Most disagreements or misunderstandings, like they come from just not knowing how to communicate in a way that creates win-win situations and harmony. So definitely have an opportunity to upgrade our communication skills right now and to really look at the ideas that are dropping in the divine downloads, all these new ideas about what we could be creating here and really look at what lights me up, what feels alive, and can I have now a focused plan, work with this energy of Saturn and Aries to not have it just be out there in the ether as a possibility, but anchor it in as a reality in our life. Time again could probably feel like it's going really fast right now. So we have all these planets in Gemini, and then we have Mars in Leo right now, and we have Venus, Chiron, Neptune, Saturn, and Aries. So fire and air together is very quick pace. It's very quick moving. Things are accelerating. Things can feel like they're accelerating around us, and we can keep that sense of calm and stillness within ourselves. We can stay connected to our body. So just because it feels like things are moving quickly doesn't mean that we have to feel or experience a chaotic state. We can stay grounded. The other energy I want to look at here is a trine that's happening between this new moon and Pluto, air energy being activated here. This really supports the theme of transformation, Pluto, death, rebirth, transformation. Really, it's looking at what is this story I now choose to write, and a releasing here with Pluto. It's like, what do I need to let go of in order to expand into the new? If we're carrying all our baggage from the past, that's going to get really heavy and it's going to weigh us down, and just letting it go. There's a lightness to the Gemini energy. It's a mutable air sign. It's like, just let it go. Drop the heavy baggage, new energy, new beginning. It's safe to start again. It's safe to let go of what feels heavy. It's safe to evolve and grow. We're actually not meant to stay the same. So these energies right now are very potent. These are the main themes that I'm seeing for you. I would love to hear from you below what resonated, what you are experiencing right now. Because again, this is the overall cosmic weather, but these transits, this cosmic forecast is hitting your unique birth chart differently. So I opened up spots for readings until the end of the month. If you would like to connect one-on-one, I only open up readings at different points throughout the year. And next time I open them up, there's going to be a price increase. So if you want to jump in now, if you would like to connect for a 90-minute session, we'll take a look at your astrology, the portals of opportunity that are opening for you right now. I love to work with other entrepreneurs and help them understand key positions in their chart, like what makes them most magnetic, what makes their message magnetic, the skills they're here to step into in order to experience expansion in their business. It's all in your birth chart. It's amazing. And then we also work work in the Akashic records as well. So I'll channel messages for you and do personalized activations in that space. So I will share the link below if you're called to book a reading, and enjoy these energies right now. Enjoy this Gemini new moon, this recent shift and new timeline of Saturn into Aries. I am sending you all so much love, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.